Marvel finds out the problems with continuity. Imagine that. All right, we are back. John Delarose here, delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com. You can head to the link in my description below, grab my newsletter, and get a free graphic novel from me. Pretty simple, pretty awesome. Also in the description below is my comic book Deus Vult, which doesn't have all that big of a crossover continuity yet, but it might at some point. So you want to get in now. We've already got a really awesome amount of backers, so thank you guys for checking this out. If you love comics, if you love the way that Marvel used to be back in the 70s and the 60s, this is going to be the book for you. Grab it on Indiegogo today. Don't wait. We are almost done with this. Going to close this out very shortly on In Demand, and you don't want to miss it. All right. What you might want to miss, though, is the Eternals movie. I don't know. So Bounding Into Comics put out this beautiful article about how fans are mocking the trailer today. And I love Bounding Into Comics. They're my favorite comic book news source. And I had not watched the trailer or even looked at it or thought of it. I grabbed the Eternals Omnibus last year because they came out with the Eternals Omnibus and I wanted oversized Jack Kirby art. But I didn't even pay attention to any movies coming out or anything like that. And I've been very behind on all of that stuff. I don't know. I don't watch all of the Marvel movies that come out, believe it or not. So I can't bitch about them like a lot of YouTubers. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll start doing that for you guys. But I watched the trailer, and while it didn't really have much going to it, it did have the basic setups of the Eternals universe, from what I could tell of the comic. I'm kind of curious about what they're going to do with this, because Jack Kirby set up this beautiful, beautiful world building at the beginning of this storyline, and then he was directed by editorial to do things, and it got messy, and you could tell he just didn't have passion in the project, and the story really never went anywhere. And they did a couple of reboots of it over time, and again, the story still never really went anywhere that's memorable or interesting. So I am interested to see what they're going to do with this and how they're going to fix that. Overall, this trailer really didn't offer much. Like the article says, it has a voiceover of Selma Hayek, who sounds like she's like smoked too many cigarettes in her time. She's kind of like,
"We have watched and guided. We have helped them progress and seen them accomplish wonders. Throughout the years, we have never interfered until now."
That's my voiceover. I'm not going to play their video because who knows about YouTube and how that works and all that. I think you're allowed to, but I'm not going to mess with it. And that's about all that it was. And then at the end, one of the other Eternals, who's a white male, talked about leading the Avengers, and everybody laughed at him. Because, of course, there's only one person who could lead the Avengers, and that's Brie Larson herself. So that's about all we get out of this. There's really not a ton to it. But that's really interesting because the comments about this really highlight the problems with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what they've written themselves into with this whole corner that they've done with the whole Thanos thing. They got rid of like half the population of Earth and snapped people out of existence. Some came back later. Everything's all messed up. They've got a huge continuity problem where you just can't ignore that. And the fact that the Eternals sat around and allegedly ignored that until now is a big problem. It doesn't really work continuity-wise, because why would people who had this kind of power not try to put a stop to that? It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, that probably impacted them too. And so all this stuff's going to be baggage that drags on in the Marvel Universe. It really would have been better if they wouldn't have done that whole 5-year snap thing and just let people come back, in the course of the movie or whatever. Would have been some trauma, but would have been something that you could move on from. But comics finds this out very quickly too, is that so much continuity builds up that they really can't do much, and they find themselves paralyzed with their characters. And so they reset it over and over again. So I'm very excited because I don't know when this is going to come, but it's going to have to come soon. But there's going to have to be a retcon in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to make things happen. Maybe they'll do a House of M thing where Wanda just erases everything, and the new way is just however it happens to work, just like they did in the comics. It was pretty lame when that happened, but I could totally see them doing it again because they love stealing all that Bendis material for some reason. Anyway, there's not a ton to the movie here. I don't really have much to discuss about the actual contents of the trailer itself, because it's a teaser. They're not giving much away. like I said, the aesthetics look all right, and we'll see how this progresses over time. I just thought that was pretty interesting about how it doesn't quite work. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this. We'll be back soon.